This is the ratio unit study guide, pages 3 and 4. Diego ran 1.5 miles in 9 minutes. So I've got 1.5 miles, 9 minutes. He ran at a constant speed. Complete the table below to show the different travel times at this speed. So, first I'm going to go from here to here. And so I have to divide these. So I do 1.5 divided by 0.5, and that gives me 3. So 3 is my helper. It is not my answer, it's the number I'm using to get to my answer. So 1.5 is going down to 5/10, which means I'm dividing by my helper. So that means I have to divide over here. 9 divided by 3 is 3. All right? Now I want to go to 0.75. So I'm going to go back to my beginning, and I'm going to go from 1.5 and 75/100ths, and I'm going to divide those. So 1.5 divided by 0.75, and that gives me 2. So 2 is my helper. So 1.5 divided by 2 is 75/100ths. So I have to do 9 divided by 2 because I'm going down. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go from 1.5 to 1. I'm going to go from 1/2 to 1. So that means I'm doubling this. So that's times 2. And because 3 is across from it, I have to double 3. So that would give me 6. So that means that if he takes him for 1 mile, it takes him 6 minutes. All right, and then we've got to go down to 1. So I'm going to divide 6 by 1. Divide 6 by 6 to get 1. And I'm going to divide by 6 over here. And remember, all fractions mean divide. So this is 1/6. How long would it take him to travel 4 miles? So I've got to put a 4 under my miles. I'm going to go from the 1 because that's easy. So 1 times 4 is 4, and across from my 1 is a 6. So I have to multiply that by 4, which gives me 24. So it would take him 24 minutes to travel at that same speed. All right. This problem is worth 24 points on the test. 24 points on the test. We've got to make sure we understand this. 4 movie tickets cost $32. At this rate, what is the cost per ticket? This tells you what to do right here. Cost per ticket is the cost divided by the tickets. That's what that means. Per means divide. So the cost is $32 divided by the tickets, which is 4. So 32 divided by 4 equals 8. Okay, next one. 5 ice cream cones cost $14.25. How much do 2 cost? So we're going to find the cost per cone. So here we go. Cost $14.25 per divide by 5. So $14.25 divided by 5 equals $2.85. So 1 ice cream cone costs $2.85, but 2 ice cream cones, this is asking you 2 different questions. So I'm going to take that $2.85 for the 1 and multiply it by 2. So 2 cones would cost me $5.70 because that's money I've got to put there. So I'm going to do 2.85 times 2, and that gives me $5.70. 3 bananas cost 66 cents. What is the cost per banana? So cost per banana. 66, the cost per banana. So I'm going to divide. Each banana cost me 22 cents. But I need 5 of them. So On your calculator, since I've already got that in there, I can just hit times, and it says, oh, you want me to take your answer and do that? Yes, I do. So 1.1 is 5 bananas are going to cost me $1.10. All right, next one. 10 headbands cost $7. How much will 15 cost? So I have to find the cost per headband. So I divide. This is going to be a decimal. 7 divided by 10 equals 70 cents. So each headband costs 70 cents, but I want 15 of them. So I have to multiply by 15. So remember, your calculator remembers that was the last answer, so I can just hit times. It brings it over for you. 15 equals 10.5 or $10.50. Okay, next one. 3 video games cost $99.99. Cost per video game. That gives me $33.33. At this rate, what is the cost per game? One game is going to cost me $33.33. 2 apples cost 75 cents. At this rate, what is the cost for 8 apples? So I want the cost per apple. So each apple cost me 37.5 cents. But I'm buying 8 of them. So that gives me $3. Okay, I could have made a T-chart for this one, right? Apples and money have 2 and 75, have 8, so times 4, $3. Next one. Oh, this is a big one. This one's worth 12 points on the test. So this is 36 points on your test. A bag contains 240 marbles. That is the whole. That is all of my marbles. Some are red, that's the part, and some are black. That is also a part. So this is a part-whole ratio. So we have to make a 3-column chart. Our first column is going to be red. Our second column is going to be black. And our third column is going to be total, because it's all the marbles. So now I have to take and put into the chart what I know. So a bag contains 240 marbles. Some are red, the rest are black. There are 39 red marbles for every black marble. That means 1. So there are 39 red for 1 black. A lot of red marbles. So the first thing I have to figure out is I have to figure out how many total marbles this is. So I just add them. 39 plus 1, that's 40. Then it says the whole bag contains 240 marbles. So that's a total. So I'm going to put the 240 under here, because that's the total. It's red and black together. Now I'm just going to do my ratio table. So I'm going to divide these, 240 divided by 40, because I do the big one divided by the little one, and that's my helper. My helper is 6. So I put a 6 here, a 6 here, a 6 here. Because 40 is getting bigger with the 6, I'm multiplying by 6, which means I have to multiply by 6 here and multiply by 6 here. Well, I know that 1 times 6, of course, is 6. 39 times 6, I'm not so sure about. So 39 times 6 equals 234. And I can check this. 234 plus 6, yep, that's 240. Now the question says how many red marbles are in the bag. So this is the whole bag. So in the whole bag there's 240 marbles, and of those 240, 234 are the red ones. Okay, we're going to do another problem like that, just so you get practice with it, because it is worth 12 points on the test. All right, here we go. A bag contains 240 marbles. That's my whole. Some are red, that's a part, The rest are black. That's a part. So I'm going to make a 3-column chart. Part, part, whole. Red, black, total. Okay, so this is part, and this is part. So there are 27 red, there are 13 black. So together, 27 plus 13, that is 40. So this group has 40 marbles in it, but I have 240 marbles in all. So once again, it's the same thing. It's not always the same thing, but once again, I'm going to divide 240 by 40, and I'm going to get 6. 6 is my helper, so I put it in all 3 places. Then, because this is getting bigger, I know I'm multiplying by that 6. So I go ahead and multiply by that, and I do 27 times 6, and that gives me 162. I do 13 times 6, and that gives me 78. And if I check this, if I add 162 plus 78, I should be back at the 240, and I am. Okay, question says, how many red marbles in the bag? There are 162 red marbles in the bag. If the question had asked how many black marbles were in the bag, there are 78 black marbles. All right, back of the worksheet. Okay, this problem's worth 24 points on the test. So we've got these giant problems that are worth a lot of points. This whole thing is the problem, and this is the last one on the test. All right, so let's read through it carefully. To make orange fizz, Noah mixes 2 scoops of powder with 3 cups of water. Andre mixes 3 scoops of powder with 5 cups of water. So this is one of those things we did on the wall. So you want to make 2 T-charts, 2 ratio tables. So my first one is about Noah. Noah mixes 2 scoops of powder with 3 cups of water. Andre mixes, this is Andre's chart, 3 scoops of powder with 5 cups of water. And I've got to get it so that something's the same. So I'm going to double. So I'm going to double this, and this would become 4, and this would become 6. Nothing's the same. I'm going to double this one. This becomes 6. This becomes 10. Nothing's the same. All right, so they have to be in the same column. All right, so I'm going to double again. So this is 2. Now we're going 6, and this is 9. Oh, now I can compare. So I see here that Noah is mixing 6 powders with 9 waters, and Andre is mixing 6 powders with 10 waters. So it says, fill a double number line to different kinds of powders and so forth, all right? And then here, we're talking about which tastes the same. So I did this work here. So I know, okay, so these taste the same for equivalent ratios. So we've got that, we've got Noah's, we've got Andre's. Oh, I did it both. So Noah's was supposed to be here, Andre's was supposed to be here. How do the mixtures compare in taste? Okay, so when I look at this, we've got 6 powders and 9 waters. We've got 6 powders and 10 waters. So this one's going to have a stronger taste because it has less water. So Noah's recipe tastes stronger, shown above. Noah's recipe uses less water for the same amount of powder. So 6 with 9 waters, 6 with 10 waters. Noah's recipe requires, oh, now we've got to go for 1 cup of water. All right, so let's get down to 1 cup of water. So I'm going to put a 1 right here, which means I'm going to go down to 3, so I have to divide by 3. And if I divide this side by 3, got to divide the other side by 3. All fractions mean divide, 2/3. So Noah's recipe requires 2/3 of a scoop of powder for 1 cup of water. Andre's recipe, so now I got to divide by 5 and divide by 5, so it's 3 divided by 5, requires 3/5 of a scoop of powder for 1 cup of water. And this one, Noah's, tastes stronger because it has the same amount of powder but less water, so it's going to taste less watered down. All right, here we go. So we've got Noah's recipe calls for 4 and 5. So now I'm going to do a double number line. Okay, so I've got powder and water, and I've got 4 with 5. Then I'll do 8 with 10. Then I'll do 12 with 15. I'm counting by 4s on the top. Then I'll do 16 and 20. And then let me go to 1 just to be sure. We'll go to 1 and so I have to divide by 4, so this is going to be 5/4. All right, and then I'll do a double number line for Andre. And so Andre, he has powder and water. And Andre has 5 powders with 6 waters. So I'm counting by 5s on the top, so 5, 10, 15, 20. And then 6, 12, 18, 24. I don't have anything figured out yet. Let's go down to 1. So this is going to be 6 divided by 5. That doesn't really help me. All right, I'm going to go up 1 more on this one. So I'm going to have 20 and 25. Now I can compare. All right, so here we are. Noah uses 20 powders with 25 waters, and Andre uses 20 powders with 24 waters. So he uses less water, so it's going to have a stronger flavor. So Andre uses less water. He has a 20 to 24 ratio. So his drink has a stronger taste than Noah's, which was a 20 to 25 ratio.